Hi, everyone. It's Mark Schultz, and I'm back here at the Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit Seattle. And I have yet another guest with me, but I have a special guest, and I have with me the organizer of the event from BCI Aerospace. And could you do me a favor and please just tell everybody who you are and what do you do, please?
Well, my name is Alan Ngoy. I'm with BCI Aerospace. I'm an event director with BCI Aerospace and responsible for, of course, this event here, as well as, other events that we organize in the U.S. And I've been with the company for 20 years. Well, my largest customer is the Boeing company, but, we work with many other companies across the nation.
Yeah, and it's been really a pleasure for me to be involved, in this event. And what's happened for me over the last 3 days is I've had the tremendous opportunity to be able to interact directly with, the OEMs and the suppliers that have been involved in the event. And I wanted to ask you, so as you went into this event, what was your real primary objective that you wanted to see accomplished in this event?
Well, the main objective is to make sure that every single supplier, every single OEM participant that is at this event, when they leave the event, they come and shake hands with us and say, we were delighted, we had a productive event. And productive events, very simple. You go to a trade show, you go to an exhibition or any other event like this one here, a B2B event, you want to make sure that you can get out with some solid leads, with good contacts. Something productive is, okay, you're coming here for your job, okay? So you want to see, okay, was it interesting for me to meet with these guys? That's the main objective. And when people are happy, that means we were able to provide them with those contacts. Basically, they say, well, those were excellent contacts for my job.
Yeah, great. That's fantastic. Let me give you some, clear feedback from the people that I spoke with over the last 3 days. Now, this feedback has been recorded and been published on the internet, and so anything I say has already been told to people that are watching right now. And I time and time again spoke with suppliers who told me that the situation that you created, which allowed them to be able to get in front of a buyer at an OEM and to be able to present themselves and their products, was a tremendously successful event. I just had a discussion, a couple hours ago with a gentleman who said, we came here for the first time from an international location, and in this event, it wasn't like a trade show where we just sat at a booth and waited for people to stop by and to say hi to us. There were prearranged opportunities for them to be able to have direct discussions with OEMs about their products and what the needs and requirements might be. And I asked, many of them, I said, so would you consider that successful and would you come back again next year? And they said, absolutely. I mean, they would look at each other and they would smile, with glee that they had gotten so many, opportunities that were presented to them. So that's direct feedback from the people that I've been interviewing.
And it is a feedback. I believe if you interview 100 people, you would get most likely at least 80 people who would tell you exactly the same thing. Because if you go to a trade show, let's say you are a small company, okay, just a small manufacturer, you want to exhibit at a large trade show, what typically happens, and I'm not criticizing any trade shows because, some of them are really good, but what typically happens is that you're put in the middle, in the back of the event. Yeah. Okay, that would be fine if you know what you're going to be doing, but, if the back of the event is the back of the floor of the exhibit hall is the no man's land where nobody's going, because the front is, that's where you have the fancy booths and people, companies with a lot of money that can invest in fancy booths and they have a lot of customers coming to visit them. You're not happy. But so when you come to this event and you realize that although you are a small company, you're basically on the same level as all the other companies. That is an important thing. Second, coming to the event, knowing in advance who you want to meet with or why you want to meet with them, and that you selected them and they also said, yes, we agree to meeting with this specific company. I mean, that's a different ball game, okay? And that's what makes a huge difference between what we do, and that's why you're getting this kind of feedback. Because people know.
People are able to be well prepared.
Absolutely,
for the event.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you another one, which I'm sure you know this, but I was surprised by this, is that many of the suppliers that I spoke with, they told me that they're alongside similar qualified type of suppliers, and they have the opportunity to potentially source back and forth between each other as well. And so
Absolutely.
that was I heard that repeatedly over and over again.
That is absolutely correct. It's a good statement because business, we tend to say business doesn't go just one way. It's not just, okay, I'm buying, or I'm selling, I'm selling, I'm selling. No, everybody needs to buy, everybody needs to sell. The primary objective of most of the suppliers when they come to the event is they want to meet with someone who's going to be able to sell, to buy their capabilities. That's one thing. However, because the level of participation is so high, very often, these guys here, what happens is that it is their company owner or the VP for something, or the managing director. They realize, oh, there's also this company that could sell something to me. I mean, we could buy from them to achieve this project that we got. Okay, we received the work package, and that work package requires us to procure some other capabilities. So it is an opportunity for them to do that when they come here and they realize, okay, I'm having these meetings with potential customers, with the OEMs, but I'm also utilizing the opportunity to meet with the smaller companies or companies who could supply me with some sort of specific capabilities that I need.
I see. Yeah. And as you bring these events together like you have, which by the way, congratulations, because growing to a place where you have as many as 20 events a year, is pretty significant. And I understand this is your 10th event in Seattle. Is that correct?
No, this is the 10th year, but it's not. It's the
10th
6th
year.
year because it's every other year.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So 5th event for over 10 years. Sorry. But if you were speaking to people out there watching today, what type of companies would you normally recommend that would come to an event like this?
Well, it's very simple. Everyone who comes to this event has to be vetted. That is rule number one. If you're not vetted, you're not coming to the event. And the reason we vet is that we make sure that when, in our jargon, we say, okay, the catalog goes live. Okay, when the catalog goes live, basically, everyone who's registered gets access to the detailed descriptions of all the participants in the event. So they can see the big companies, the mid-sized companies, the small companies, and anytime they think, oh, I'm interested in meeting with these guys, they can send them a meeting request. So, and in order to make sure that when the catalog is live, that you as a participant are gonna see some interest. So you're gonna find material from the catalog. We need to make sure that this is the right fit for you. So a company typically who say, okay, we're in aerospace and we supply ground equipment. We don't have any airports manager here. Okay, so it's not a good fit. We simply turn them down instead of recruiting them, which happens at traditional trade shows. They just want you to pay and once again, I'm not blaming them because that's their model. Okay, but at the end of the day, what you realize is that there's no one for me here. Okay, so we basically turn people down to avoid that. You could say, okay, we're in aerospace, we supply spare parts, but our market is MRO. Okay, we're interested in meeting with airliners. Well, you've been roaming the event here. Have you seen any airliners? No.
Yeah,
so
none.
therefore,
Yeah, exactly.
we tell them also this kind of case. We say, okay, no, you should not be coming to the event, which is why you are getting such tremendous feedback from people, because we make sure that when someone signs up, it is a good fit. So companies, manufacturing, having all different capabilities, whether it's composites, it's metalwork, machining, you name it, okay? Those companies that are part of the supply chain as a whole, and that they are involved in the making of an airplane, whether it's the structural parts or the avionic part, they are more than welcome, because this event is a good fit. Most of our events are a good fit for them.
I see you attract a really, because you work with them to do this, you attract a very high quality, group of suppliers that can be brought together. Let me ask you this from the other side. Typically, what kind of feedback do you get from the OEM as far as their opinion of the success of these kind of events?
Well, yesterday there was on day one, we had a series of presentations given by Boeing executives. These are VPs. And they gave the presentations, and then of course they had to leave because these are very busy people. But one of them came back to the event yesterday, And she had an opportunity to look at all these suppliers gathered here, and she was just amazed, completely astonished. And she was like, I can't believe, we have such engagement with suppliers. So that itself tells you what it is. But we can go to lower layers, and most of them, it's a phenomenal way of saving time, because most of those OEMs, whether they're supply chain, procurement, engineering, etc., they just have to Google. Okay. Oh, I'm looking for a machine shop. Okay, you just Google machine shop,
and you have no idea what you're getting with.
And not only you don't know what you're gonna get, but you simply are gonna have a hard time sorting out the millions of response that Google will send you. So for them coming here, well, it's a fantastic way of saving time, because they can see, okay, we've selected the companies. All those companies were here. Well, we have vetted them. We know that we know their capabilities. We know their certifications. So you don't have to dig all into all that, because you can see their profiles just at once. Okay, one glimpse, and of course after that, they can meet with them. They select. They can say yes or no. So they're not wasting their time. They're not wasting their time, and that has a huge value for them, which is why we're here, with a very strong partnership with the Boeing company. This is the only event in the world where suppliers can interact, can meet with more than 100 people from Boeing, and none of those guys are coming here to sell airplanes, because we're not dealing with sales and marketing people. No, these guys are from, as I said, engineering. They're from product development,
materials, purchasing,
as you might have probably realized. And so it's absolutely the right people that the suppliers want to meet with.
I can see that. So I can see how you built a real high quality event that has a repeat occurrence. And like I said, I understand you do 20 of them a year. And so for those people...
We actually do more than 50 events a year.
50 events a year?
Yes, because we organize events in many other areas, pharmaceutical industry, etc.
Okay.
We have a very wide portfolio.
Okay. So let me ask you this, is that given that you have such a wide portfolio and a presence, what's the best way for people that are watching to be able to understand what your events are and how to connect? Where do they go? To the website, to LinkedIn? How do they do this?
Typically the best way is to reach out to us, because, as I said, we need to vet everyone. So when someone signs up online, we need to talk to them. And even if you sign up online, it doesn't mean that it has been approved. And for your own interest, we need to make sure that, as I said earlier, it is a good fit. If you're looking for the type of contacts that we will not have, because we know our business, we know the kind of people who are going to be coming to the event, well, we simply tell you, well, sir, ma'am, not the right place for you. Okay, you better find another place so that you won't be disappointed. So best thing to do is to reach out to our team. We have a team in the US. Myself, you can reach out to me, of course, and we'll always be there to respond and to make sure that you understand, that a participant understands. I should say a potential participant understands, one, what the event pertains to. Second, how it is all put in motion. Third, how much it costs. And fourth, what they will have to do.
Well, I see you've put together a very high quality event. So let me take that down one step deeper. Is that exactly who should they get in touch with? How do they do that? Is it through an email address or through LinkedIn, or how do they do that?
If you go to the A&DSS, to Aerospace and Defense Supplier Summit Seattle, you Google that, you find the website, and on the website you find our contacts. You can either, if for an American company, they can reach out to Liddy, to Tamara, to myself. There are a number of names there. For people overseas, we'll have contacts. Best thing to do is to reach out to someone from our team, telling them, look, I want to understand if this is a good place for me to be. Okay, and we'll always be very straightforward, very direct, and honest to people. We do not have people if it's not a good fit for them. Very good.
So if you're watching and if you think you'd be interested in pursuing this further and seeing if there's an opportunity for you to engage in an event like this, then go to the website and take a look at the specific email contacts. Reach out to the people at BCI Aerospace, and also the person I've been working with, which you've seen with me over the last few days. Is Liddy Artemova, and she can also be reached on LinkedIn. You can reach out directly to the team and see if there's an opportunity. This is a way for you to grow and increase your business. Listen, I've learned over 40 years in the aviation industry, in the aerospace business, that networking is an extremely important part, of getting business done. And you've provided an opportunity for people to do that. And so I'm going to thank you for that tremendous contribution, to the aviation aerospace industry.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah,
good. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for having this conversation today. And for everybody watching, we've had 3 great days of interviews and good information about technical information about companies and the value of participating in such an event. And now we'll wrap it up with this great, wrap up and suggesting that you too consider, joining an event like this again in the future. Thank you very much for participating in this. Have a great day. Bye.